record ചെയ്യണേ.
Yeah. You have given me the share screen, sir.
ഇല്ല സർ, ഒരിപ്പോൾ തരാം, ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. ഞാനത് ഒന്ന് ലൈവ് പോകാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് അതുകൊണ്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് തരാം.
And this Zoom link will not expire after 30 minutes, right? Because it's not the trial link, right?
അല്ല മനോഫയുടെ. സോ ഐ തിങ്ക് രവി നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങിയാലോ. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ രവിയെ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല, എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാൻ രവിയെ. ഹാപ്പി ദീപാവലി ടു ഓൾ ഓഫ് യു. ആൻഡ് നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ സ്പീക്കർ, എനിക്കൊന്ന് കുറച്ച് പേര് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഉണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. സോ ഇന്നത്തെ സ്പീക്കർ രവിശങ്കർ ആണ്. രവി പാഷൻ ബൈറ്റ്സിന്റെ ഡയറക്ടറാണ്, ആക്റ്റീവ് ബ്ലോഗർ ആണ്. പുള്ളി ഡിഫറെന്റ് സബ്ജക്ട്സിൽ he's a speaker at international conferences at big data, different subjects in patti. He used to do presentations and different things. പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ രവി ആൻഡ് ഫാമിലി മനോഫയുടെ വളരെ നാളുകളായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ആക്റ്റീവ് മെമ്പേഴ്സ് ആണ്. രവി, വെൽക്കം. ഫ്ലോർ ഇസ് യുവേഴ്സ്. താങ്ക് യു. ഈ ഒരു ഓഫർ അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ഇതിനെപ്പറ്റി മനോഫയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിൽ വളരെ സന്തോഷം. ഫ്ലോർ ഇസ് യുവേഴ്സ്.
Thank you very much, and very glad to be here. At least this is my passion, and thank you very much for giving opportunity to exhibit this passion finally. I'm going to show you a completely different way of presentation today, because you have seen that I have not come into the video yet, and it is somebody else who is going to talk on behalf of me. That is going to be some very interesting part where the AI is going to play a very big role. So let me just quit and reopen. Why? Because the screen share is not enabled in my Mac for this one, Zoom. So I will be just sorry, all of you are here, right?
Yeah, ade.
All right. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once you see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it, Ravi.
All right. So let's start. So a bit enjoy. You might get a little bit of, understanding what is going on. But let me explain you as we are going on to the details of the presentation. Okay. So here we go.
Good evening, Manofa. Excited to be here. Hope you are all doing good. Nice to see you all again. I am not the real Ravishankar, but a twin of him created by him. I am his AI twin avatar. Manofa had given me opportunities in the past to be unique on stage. Examples like the King Mahabali on one of the earlier Onam celebrations. happy husbands Gangnam style dance, etc. Today, for the first time, I am presenting to an esteemed audience as an artificial intelligence twin avatar. Again, first time, in one and the only Manofa, AI everywhere. And welcome to my talk. AI is like the invention of electricity. Like electricity, AI is a general purpose technology, useful for many things. Best way to think of AI is as a collection of tools. Today we focus a bit on two of the most widely used: supervised learning and generative AI.
Supervised learning is very good in computing input to output by labeling. Given an input A, find the output B. This is what we are doing here.
Examples are, given an email, we can use supervised learning to check whether it's a spam or not. Given a user information and an advertisement, we can check whether the user is likely to click or not. From some images and radar information, we can label the position of cars. Given a ship route, we can label whether fuel consumption is more or not. Given an image of a phone, we can check whether there is a defect visible or not. As it's clear, supervised learning is useful for many applications, not just one domain. Let's walk through a simple example. Assume that we want to do a sentiment analysis of restaurants. For those who do not know, sentiment analysis it's a way to find out your review is positive or negative. If customers write a good review, sentiment is positive, otherwise negative. If we want to find out the overall rating of the restaurant, we need more positive reviews. In these examples of supervised learning, we take reviews and manually label them as positive or negative. Wherever we see words like great, yummy, etc., we mark them as positive. If words sound not so good, then we mark them negative. We create thousands and millions of such labeled data, then train an AI system to create something called a model. Here, for training these large data, we may use a cloud service like Amazon or Azure. Once the model is deployed, it is a learned system like human brain. Use that system now to predict whether a future given review could be positive or negative. Last decade was full of supervised learning. The whole world used it in many ways. A healthcare provider can use supervised learning to predict fraudulent claims. A restaurant can use the same for sentiment analysis. A financial institution can use to predict fraudulent transactions, etc. In the beginning of last decade, data was not huge and small models could be built, but performance could not improve due to limitations in AI models. Towards 2020s, with the arrival of GPUs and big data, more accurate large AI models could be built. So far, so good. If last decade was of supervised learning, this decade is of generative AI. Excited for more? Let me hand over rest of the presentation to my twin, the real Ravishankar. Thank you all and see you again.
All right, so now we can continue with the normal presentation of what exactly is the discussion on AI is all about. Hope you can see me. What you have seen just now is an amazing application of AI. What I did is I created an avatar, and that avatar was speaking to you. Why? Because I was training them with the models. And then I used an AI-based application called HeyGen to generate this particular video. And now I can submit this particular video and convert it into 160 different languages. So if I want to create a presentation now, and if I want to make something, I can now use this avatar. And this avatar can be put it into a crypto blockchain, which we call as a non-fungible token. And this non-fungible token can be downloaded and can be represented like your original human being everywhere in the whole world. And that's what metaverse and those kind of applications are doing. So AI has started penetrating to each and every aspect of our life. This is just a very simple example. So look at how the training and such applications can be improved by this approach, where even if you don't know the language, you can implement your ideas into that language using this generative AI. So how does it work? When I create an avatar, it takes my picture and it trains and understands my picture, understands the voice movements, and then when I give the video text using the ChatGPT model, it is going to convert that particular sounds into the actions as you have seen. Now, you have observed that I have just used my half of my face for this particular, half of my body, in fact, for this particular presentation. But assume that you want a full avatar of yourself. It takes 14 days and a little bit of costly, but you can create it and then start a training and you can create an original avatar and then represent yourself in each and every actions that you want to do across the globe. It can be presentations, it can be your biodata, it can be your digital business card, it can be something that you are representing yourself in a seminar at a remote place. It can be in a different language, in a different domain. And I'm going to experiment the same thing in early 2024 January for a Mexico presentation where I will be doing a presentation in Spanish, even though I don't know a bit of it. That's the advantage of having an AI avatar and using it across the globe. Now let's go a little bit more detail on some of the AI applications that are going on. First, I'm going to take a signaling system which is now in experiment in, I think, some place in Sweden, where when you don't have a helmet, the traffic signal identifies that you don't have a helmet, and it is showing you that if you are not wearing the helmet, the traffic light is not going to be green. The facial recognition is going to make sure that if you don't have helmet, you are not allowed to cross, or you have to go to the side or wear it and then come back. Again, AI started coming into each and every place. Next, if you are an iPhone fan, just hold down. There is something more coming in. And that is going to be an amazing invention by the same
becoming
guy.
Increasingly complacent with the yearly minimal upgrades of their devices. This is Elon Musk's chance to cause a major shakeup in the smartphone industry with the announcement of the Tesla Model Pi. Gripes with Apple. Elon Musk is an iPhone user and has openly criticized them. This is what he said. People are used to the phone being better every year. I'm an iPhone user, but I think some of the recent software updates have not been great. Certainly feeding into that point, it broke my email system, which is quite fundamental. Other disadvantages of the iPhone which have been noted are the inability to increase the built-in storage or difficulty in tethering the device to a Windows PC or laptop. Besides these disadvantages, the Apple iPhone is a terrific smartphone and is a good choice for anyone, but many more smartphones can do the same functions. If you have the option to have something way better like the Tesla Pi phone, you should 100% go for it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the Tesla Pi phone. Exterior and design. Tesla has brought the same design philosophy that has punctuated its other successful products. Its cars combine great looks with performance and are among the best-looking electric vehicles on the market. Now, the Pi phone shares the same sleekness and bold, attractive colors.
So basically, it's a long video, but what you understood is where the world is going. So what he is doing is he's connecting the phone with a Neuralink and Starlink. And Neuralink, you know, is a project that is going on, successfully tested on animal studies, where a chip is integrated into the brain, and he's trying to make the phone think from the human brain directly, just like a Bluetooth connection. And then he is going to have a connection to the Starlink, which is making your phone available to the internet, even if you are on a desert where there are no towers. The next important thing that he's doing is he's creating a solar charger for that particular phone with a panel so that you don't need a charger. And the next thing he has implemented into that is using this particular phone, you can drive your car. You don't need to hold the steering. Of course, you have to have your Face ID shown so that you are awake, but you don't have to touch the steering anymore. So look at how AI is shaping the things for the future. It is almost going to be pervasive, and it is going to interpret the things that we are daily doing, and it is going to convert a lot. But there is something good that the youngsters can enjoy now. For example, a couple of years back, if I was working in either a financial institution or a healthcare institution, if I want to create a machine learning model, it was about 2 to 3 months of exercise. Why? You need to have large amount of data. You need to store that particular data somewhere and you need to train a model. And then you need to find out the accuracy of that particular model. Then you need to check whether that particular model is performing or not. And it takes about 3 to 4 months of time to settle that particular model. And then we need to make sure that the model is deployed finally before going into production. So there is a 6 to 8 months of lag time for delivering a particular project. But the generative pre-trained transformers, or in short, we call as GPTs. Bard is an example. ChatGPT is an example. And so many. Google's GAN is another invention that is happening on this area. They are changing the world. Now it is not, AI is not a proprietary thing that $100 million or $200 million organization can do. It is now getting penetrated into 2 million, 5 million, 3 million, or 1 million kind of small scale industries, which is bringing a lot of opportunities. For example, if suppose I am looking at a very simple program, I'm not intending to show code, but just for showing you how exactly the things are working. Here is a very simple example. And I'm going to tell that this Manofa talk is wonderful. Okay. I'm just giving a prompt and I want to check whether this particular sentiment analysis is going to happen or not. And you look at the number of lines that I have written for this. It is not more than 10 lines. What I'm doing is I'm calling ChatGPT's OpenAI prompt, and I'm telling that use a pre-trained model and give me the result of this particular sentiment analysis. So one which was taking 6 to 8 months of time for the deployment has now become few lines of code with the generative AI technology. So if I run this, and it will take a while because it is connecting to OpenAI, and then I am going to check whether the sentiment is positive or negative. It is telling positive. And if suppose telling that, okay, this food is not good at all, the food is not good at all. And then if suppose you are running again a sentiment analysis, it's going to show you the result as negative. So this is an opportunity for the people where if you want to become an AI expert or a machine learning guy, now it is very easy. You don't need to find books for linear algebra, statistics, and machine learning. You don't need to study stochastic gradient descent. You need to know what is a neural network. You need not know conventional neural network evolutions, etc. You can just use the OpenAI APIs, and then you can create a particular sentiment analysis. As another example, let me now just take it to my own stuff. What I did is that I created again a ChatGPT application, and I want to ask a question in English, and I want the answer from data. Because the problem with the technology is that if you want to query something, if you want to get some successful result, you need to know, Suresh of the world are daily living with that, the SQLs, oracles, the databases of the world. And then you need to understand how to query it properly. What are the indexed columns? What it will be retrieving? How to massage that particular data? And please look what we are doing here. So let me just run this code that I'll explain to you. And I'm going to, 1 minute. Let me run the code. Yeah. And again, I'm using Open API, right? And I'm going to create some birthday data in the database. And please remember, this database is now running on the browser. So there is a new technology that is now getting combined with AI, and that's called WASM, in short, WebAssembly. What is WebAssembly? WebAssembly is the next generation Docker. What it will do? It will take your complex, complete application code and convert it into a kind of scripting that browser can understand. Why? Because nowadays the browsers are much more capable than the old type of browsers. They can now understand some of the assembly type scripting languages. And what they have done is that they created a database called DuckDB, which is running completely on the browser. And how much data this particular browser or DuckDB can contain? It can take about 1 terabyte data in the browser without your RAM having that capacity. And how does it work? It will stream multiple data chunks and then it will combine that data. So you have a 32 GB RAM in your laptop, but you will be able to load a 1 terabyte of data on your browser. Look at the way the world is moving. That means now we are now moving into a more democratized data environment combined with this particular AI technology. So I'm loading this particular data, right? And it's already there, okay? And then I'm creating a connection to the database. And now, please look at this. I am telling that explain the content of this particular data, and it is running the ChatGPT, and it is telling me already an overview of the data. That means you don't have to sit. You don't have to now analyze the data. You don't need to understand what is the internal intricacies associated with the data. It gave me, okay, this data is containing name, birth date, phone number, address, and year. After that, now I can start querying, okay, how many people are there in, let's say, West Virginia, for example, and it is going to, and look at the query that I'm writing. I'm writing in English. And the moment I'm writing the query in English, it is getting converted into a SQL query by whom? Again, generative AI. It works on the prompt. So it converted it. Now you imagine if you are a little bit enthusiastic, integrate this question with Alexa or Siri so that when you ask it to Alexa, hey Alexa or hey Siri, how many people are born in West Germany on your data? Any questions? Internally, it will convert it into a SQL, run it against your database, and then will give you the answer. So the power is going to be amazing by the technology when you are combining it with the data as well as the generative part of it. And you can ask any questions. And to be a little bit more, adventurous, let us do one thing. I'm going to delete all the data and I'm going to load something called birthdays. I don't know whether I have the birthdays or not. Okay. So I have it. So I'll just clear this particular one. Just for example, let me just go here. Go to do clear output. Right. And then I'm going to run it. I'm going to run it. And I'm going to get my API key. Of course, you need to pay $20 for getting the all models of the ChatGPT APIs and create a database and create a connection. And I'm going to explain the content. And this time I'm going to ask how many birthdays are in January and give their names. And this is my stuff. Just I loaded some data for this particular example. And it is going to tell me that, okay, this Sakshi, Vicky, Vishnupriya, Mansi, all these people are having their birthdays in January. And now what I'm going to do is I want to ask something and then I want my voice to be converted into a SQL query. All right. So what I'm going to do that, just pause a minute. When is the birthday of Vicky? You got the answer. And I asked in English and it is telling me that it is in January. Okay. And now let me show you something more. I'm going to run the code. Ye Shashikant ka birthday kab hai? You got the answer. But there is nobody called Yash Shashikant. Again, there is a voice prompt problem, but it is getting converted into correct query. And I asked in Hindi, and which is getting converted into the query. Then it uses the ChatGPT API, and it is giving me the result back. The possibilities are amazing. And just to tell you, what is this all ChatGPT all about, right? So if you're looking at I have opened a link here, which I'm not finding. Okay, what is chat? Yeah. It is generative pre-trained transformers, and the users are nowadays where the people are using this. If you want to create a social media content tomorrow, you want to write about something in LinkedIn, go create a ChatGPT key. After that, tell what is your context, and it will give you a very nice decorative media content which you can take and paste it. You want to convert text, you can use it. You want to write and learn code. For example, if I'm going to my ChatGPT playground, and if I'm asking a question, right? Okay, enter your message. Okay, give me, please give me a Python program to find factorial of a number, for example. Oh. And it is going to integrate with, I think I have to do something here. Wait a minute. I think there is some change in this particular environment. I think some sections I need to add, but basically this is how it will work. And you will get the complete answer from the ChatGPT. The response will be coming with a complete program. And fortunately, Google also started the same thing. For example, if suppose I write a program to add two numbers in Python and press enter, it is going to give you this particular result. But see the difference how ChatGPT is working and Google is working. And this is where Bard is coming into picture, or Microsoft Bing is coming into picture, where they're integrating that AI-based result bringing, rather than showing the plain links and then helping you out. Right? So, what are the opportunities? The opportunities are, rather than concentrating on machine learning fundamentals, rather than concentrating on becoming a data scientist, try to learn generative AI prompts, how to use prompts in your application. You will have the data, and look at this wonderful application called duckbook.ai. Somebody has created it. This is a very nice site. When you get some time, just to go to this particular site called duckbook.ai, and then just click on try free sample. This is Olympic data. You can load any data, whatever you want, and then you can start asking the questions. You can create charts on the top of that particular data, and you will be getting all the results. Everything is working based upon WASM and ChatGPT. So any data you can load here. So if you go down, and if suppose you are putting a slash, it will show you the amount or the things that you want to do. See, you want to run an SQL, you want to create a chart, or you want an AI, whatever you want, you can do. You can use sample data and then start writing questions on that particular data. Everything is running on a browser. And please imagine, if you want to make this particular application in an enterprise, you need a web application, you need a database, you need an ETL tool to transform the data, you need hundreds and 200s of project managers, software engineers, vendors, and 6 months or 8 months and multi-million dollars, which is getting converted into a beautiful ecosystem now, where the things are going to be, very easy, far advanced, much efficient, flexible, and understandable. And this is what AI is bringing. And now, like a Terminator movie, will AI is going to overtake the complete humanity and going to be finishing all the things, and robots will be taken over human being? I don't think so. Why? Because you can always switch off the internet. You can always switch off the connection. And as long as they are not aware of the technology and power, then I don't think, sorry, Elon Musk, that AI can take over the human life and human ecosystem. More promising days are ahead. We can expect so many things that are coming into the future, but hope you got a little bit of overview. The things that you can experiment are ChatGPT, this duckbook.ai, and then create an ID or free ID in your ChatGPT screen. Start asking questions. For example, this time, the Diwali logo that I used for my organization, that I have created using ChatGPT. And let me just show you what I did. This is the logo that I created for the Diwali. I just gave the idea and I told that please create something for it. Of course, little bit of tweaking was needed. It's a little time consuming, but look at that logo line, which I could never think. Sparkling success with a data-driven brilliance. Because I gave the context to ChatGPT, telling that, okay, I am belonging to a data company and I want to wish something for Diwali, which is Festival of Lights. And ChatGPT gave me 4 or 5 options, and I used that particular option to create it. So things are amazing. And again, my avatar is going to be there now everywhere. So I have got an assistant now in order to represent me in my talks. And first time I presented this avatar to one and only Manofa. So thank you very much. Thank you for all these opportunities. Hope you will enjoy AI in some way or other. I will open to questions. Thank you.
Hey, Ravishankar. Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, you talk about ChatGPT. Do you know what is hallucinations
Yes.
in AI? So it can mislead people, give wrong information, and take wrong actions.
Absolutely right. Okay. So not only hallucinations, biased also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So biased, unbiased, hallucinations. For example, some days back, I saw, I don't remember the name. I think it is Drake or somebody whose song was completely being created by an AI application. So it is possible that somebody can misuse it. And for each and every aspect of the world, whether it is a nuclear reactor, to a car, to anything that we see, there is a positive side and there is a negative side. That negative side may be improved with the securities or with other kind of things as we go along. But it may take a little bit of time. What you told, absolutely right. It is in the hands of the user to put it onto the perfect context and make sure that it is not bringing hallucinations, it is not biased, and it is doing the work that is making a smarter world, not an unhappier world.
Okay, thank you.
So Ravi, a quick question for me. So we know that when we start with ChatGPT and all, right, or before that we have the Code.ai product, where most of the companies are using, right?
Yeah.
So now with this new AI technology, right? What does I mean? Are they going to create new products similar to Code.ai, or is it something like web driven?
That is absolutely right. And duckbook.ai is such an application which is created by using ChatGPT. And you know what is the greatest thing? And you brought a very important point here. When you are using duckbook.ai, this data that you are going to load, for example, if I put a slash and it is taking a data, this data is coming from my, you look at that, my computer, right? It is asking me. So if I am taking movies.csv, and now after this data is loaded, see, I have loaded all this data, and now I am going to do some AI. Okay, I'll just show you. Let us ask a question. How many movies are in 1995, for example? And I put a question. Look at that. GPT-4 is thinking, and the data is not going to ChatGPT. Only the metadata is going. And you got the answer already. So they have created it such an intelligent way that if the organizations are telling my data is not secure, my data is completely going to ChatGPT and coming back wrong, you open the developer console in Google and check what data is going. It is just looking at that data. The metadata is going to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is giving back the SQL query, and the SQL query is getting executed on your data, on your browser, so that your data is secure. So it is bringing more opportunities. So what you told is correct. The platforms like Core.ai or Microsoft, maximum Microsoft is going to play with it. Why? Because OpenAI, a major shareholder is Microsoft. So in Bing, if you search which is the best browser on AI-based thinking, you will now don't get answer Chrome, but you will be getting Microsoft Bing. So they have started using it. So a lot of other applications can be expected in the future. Existing applications, you can see that they are going to integrate this a lot more on their products.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Welcome. Fresh.
Hey, Ravi, this is Lindsay, and
Hi, Lindsay.
I'm not a computer guy. I'm a healthcare professional by trade, but this is a fascinating topic that you discussed today. I do have a question. You talk about analyst and analysis of data being done by individuals. So does this new world of computing really takes away from the need for those analysts? And my second question is that, do the people that are in those fields, do they have to upskill their skill set to move and learn more about AI and the tools around AI to be viable for their future?
Good question again. Thank you. So to answer your first question, nobody's job is going away because such a scenario is not existing. Why? Because I'm a programmer from when I started my career, and now also I'm a programmer. But the thing is, what I'm doing now is a completely different one, more productive one, maybe in difference in language, difference in the way that I execute the things. So please look at this same example that you're seeing on my screen. If currently the analyst is not knowing SQL, they will not be able to get this on a database from Oracle or from MySQL, right? You cannot get that data unless you write a proper query and execute it. But now what happened? English is getting converted into query by AI, which means that analysts' jobs are not going, but it is becoming a little bit more easier, which is allowing it to make them a little bit more productive and more, acceptable to the technology. So you can say that a kind of upskilling is happening there. They will be using more tools. They will be using more advanced things. The traditional way of spending time by writing 100 SQLs are now getting eliminated completely, which is making them more productive. What did Java do and when C was there? So when I started, if I write a C program or a Pascal program in those days, it was about 300 lines or 400 lines for creating a linked list or a sorting application. What happened in 1995 when Java came? It became 10 lines. What happened in 2010, those time? Oh, I can write a simple MapReduce in big data. And today, if I want to sort, I give the data and tell ChatGPT to generate the sorted data. Finish. So we were doing all this iteration and all this looping, all these things in that language and today as well. But what have changed is the methodology. It is just like the difference between we used a Nokia phone in the beginning days, and now we use an iPhone or a Google phone. But phone is the same. It made it more useful. But did we stop using the phone? No. It became more and more flexible, more useful to the world. That is what is going to happen for the community now. In every aspect, there is a point of or there is something of AI which is going to intervene, which will make their work more productive.
Thank you.
Hey, can I add that to that your comment to your question, Linz? Okay, so there are regulations that are there. Okay, it's all depends on the regulation. So now we had a cashier and the grocery store was there. Now it is replaced with the self-checkout. Okay, that's okay. But in a medical field, suppose a pharmacist is dispensing a medicine, maybe the technician's job, those who find the medicine and fill it and put it there, that job may be replaced with the AI or it's a robot. But a pharmacist should be there to dispense the medicine. So pharmacist's job is not going away. Depends on the regulation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, if the government says that no, we don't need a pharmacist, even the computer can dispense the medicine, okay, then the pharmacist job in line. Okay, that's the regulation is very important.
You are right. You are right. It's exactly like the electric car. The car is there, but the driver must be there, right?
Correct. Similar way is happening. Radiology. Okay, radiology, check the X-ray, and somebody is looking at the X-ray. What is he is doing? He is doing a pattern recognition.
Yep.
He thinks, okay, this dark picture shows some cancer or something like that. So that is replacing by AI, but the person finally needs to certify.
You are absolutely right. And that is the reason why, if you hold a minute, I always tell that I don't say AI, instead I say augmented intelligence. So artificial intelligence and augmented intelligence are different. Artificial intelligence means the jobs where complete robots can do. Completely. Everything is managed by robots. Example, if you go to an Amazon, the storehouse, you will see that the robots are managing each and everything there, moving the things, bringing the things, packing the things, etc. But there is another one called augmented intelligence, which is also again AI. What is meant by augmented intelligence? What all examples you have told? A pharmacist, for example, a doctor, for example, right? These are all a driver, for example. This cannot be changed. And that is the reason why I told you in my last point that it's impossible that AI can take over the human life, because there is that particular factor which will always come, which can happen only through the natural intelligence. So natural intelligence cannot be replaced by an artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence.
Thank you.
Welcome. I have some chat. I don't know whether there are questions.
Questions on
It's Pradeep. I can tell that human eyes can overlook it. Yes, absolutely. No, he's just supporting my talk. Thank you.
So one more question. Being a non-computer guy, if I need to venture more into this space, what are the options, or what are the opportunities?
Create some beautiful, intelligent applications which will reduce the human intervention. For example, I don't remember the name. Create an itinerary using ChatGPT. This was an application which got some prize. Travel. Look at that. Somebody has created a travel itinerary using the ChatGPT. So
this was the important one, right? It came up with if you put any place, if 3 days, 4 days, they will give you exactly what itinerary you can use it, right? Yeah, is that the one?
Absolutely. Yeah. Which place you are going, which date you are going. It will even tell you the weather conditions of that particular day. So look at the application that has been created using the AI, right? And then Linz, another area that we can concentrate is on, training assistants, etc. For example, just imagine the way that I used the twin avatar, that you can create some material now and you can proliferate it to any language that you want, even though you don't know it. Imagine the time that used to take for creating such videos by using uploads and converting it and manually telling it, or taking it up and all. All these are now very easily possible with a click of a button. And that is created using this integration of ChatGPT. So the opportunity is, take your old ideas, which are time consuming, complex, difficult, see whether there is an opportunity to make it lot lazier or easier for the human being using this technology. That will be something interesting to see in the coming years. And I think that is going to be the future.
Okay. So Ravi, on the translator also, right? The language translator, I think,
Right.
that is something they are working on, right?
That's correct. They are working on the translation also. Now, currently, it is not there. The latest version is not having the language features. They are working on that. Another thing they are working on is uploading the picture and then taking some information from the picture. So there are so many things that are going on in the GPT area, whether it is Bard or whether it is ChatGPT, OpenAI. So you can expect these kind of things in the future.
Samsung declared that next version will have the voice translation.
Voice translation, yeah, which is.
And
but
yeah, Apple is also working on that.
Apple is also working on it. Yeah, next version. Yeah. So
going back to Lynn's question, I think the question was more towards how do I get started? If I don't know anything about AI, where do I go?
Yeah, which language, or there is some LLM or something like that languages,
It's a large language model. That is the model name. Okay. So model name, large language model means it has been trained by a lot of systems, and then that large language model is created by 170 billion parameters, etc. And they will give a name like GPT-3, GPT-4, etc. The latest version that we are using is GPT-4, which is a big LLM. And using that LLM, we are getting that particular result. Okay. For starting, what we can do is learn about prompts by going to OpenAI Playground. It is free, but the problem is, for free, there will be a limit on the number of prompts or number of questions that you can create. Once you have some prompts, then you can think about some of the details. For example, I'm doing a booking application for hotels, okay, in this part of the world. So what I'm doing now is that in that booking application, I'm adding this itinerary builder using ChatGPT, which is unique thing currently not available in booking.com. So think about opportunities where you can integrate something together. For the people who are working on data, maybe Suresh, you can understand. Earlier, if I want to call an API, I want to write some code in Ruby or Python or C language, right?
Yep.
Now I don't need to write any code. Why? Because I will make a ChatGPT call, and you will ask in English, give me the code for calling weather API. It is going to give me the code, and I will connect to that particular code. See how it became easy now.
So partially my job is getting eliminated.
Yeah.
Your job will not go, Suresh. Your job will not go. The developer's job will go. See, most of the kids are now using ChatGPT to write the code. And
Absolutely.
somebody other day said that quality of code programming or coding is improved.
That is right. Yeah. Now they will get a blueprint, but the teacher might catch them for copying from ChatGPT, so they will try to improve it. They will make some improvements, either by changing the variable names or some changes in the code, and they will give it. That will make them learn better.
Yeah, I heard Rohan has been using that. I mean, for
everybody.
Certain, yeah.
But college is warning them.
Yeah.
Because The problem with the college is different, but the school children, they are using ChatGPT to do your homework.
I got one more question related to health related. So you talked about creating an you talked about creating an avatar. So this is a scenario if a primary care doctor decides to create his own avatar and create a virtual option for his patients,
right?
And so when they sign on to the virtual platform, they are talking to this avatar of the primary care doctor. Can the avatar do the diagnosis on behalf of the doctor using this functionality?
Absolutely.
Is that a possibility?
The world is going there, and already you might have seen the notes. We've seen the notes that in a similar industry where an advocate used ChatGPT for some US court for some past decisions to be analyzed. In the court, he or she used ChatGPT to get a particular advice. Of course, they might have analyzed it in detail later, but for an immediate reference or something, they started using it. This is going to be an exciting area. And there is an advertisement by Titan Eye. Please look at that advertisement, where when the customer is walking to the shop, they will look at the customer and an avatar is sitting in the screen and looking at the mood of the customer, they will start talking to you and they will identify you and tell, hey, how are you, so-and-so? Oh, you have a bag in your hand, because facial recognition told that there is a bag. So there is a bag in your hand. Are you going to buy something from here? Now they are creating kiosk invitation using OpenAI.
That's already created by Tom Cruise.
I don't know, but this is what I saw. Titan Eye is what I saw.
It's there in the Tom Cruise movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's a movie.
Lindsay, your question. I told you, everything regulation. If government says that it cannot do it, it cannot. That's medical people needs to lobby government. So
yeah, but that's all. You're talking about US. I'm talking about the entire world. So, in India, there's, there could be regulations can be changed easily. And this could be something that could really help with the access, and even here, access is a big issue. So there's a big possibility for that.
Yeah, the court thing is different. At a court, it is searching and you are, helping the situations or the past history, part judgment, other thing, you are getting that you arguing the case better. But the judge is there to hear everything. You cannot replace the judge.
Again, it's going back to the same thing, right? This one, the augmented intelligence. You cannot remove.
Yeah.
Hey, Ravi, this is Ajib. Question for you. See, what I'm looking for is my iPhone have a capability to analyze my behavior and give me warning and scan all the incoming mails, the news coming for me, my bank account, everything, and give me a warning. If you open that mail, your behavior indicates that you're going to respond bad, you will be in trouble, something like that. Plus, if I am typing a bad mail, in response to one of the office mails, it stops me sending it. When looking into where AI is now, how far are we with that? Based on some of the examples that you mentioned, right? It is very possible today. Is that true? Is there anything that is stopping us from?
Yeah, it is possible. I don't know. I think Google Business Suite has got the feature that you mentioned, because I got some marketing mails from them telling that if you are using the Business Suite, then it will tell you that whether this mail is to be responded or not. It will show some color coding, which indicates that these are real mails, these are not looking so real, etc., etc., but not fully to what you have asked.
Okay, but is that possible?
It is possible. It is definitely possible, because They can even look at the content. They can look at the sender, whether sender is a verified user or not. All these things can be done, right? So it's definitely possible. Another thing that is happening is if there is an event in your calendar and you are going to the car, automatically your car's map is showing the place where the event is, depending upon the time. So there are so much integrations going on in the Android and iPhone world. Hopefully, this is going to be a very exciting things in the coming years.
And
That's
in that case,
what-
the same could be possible for the health analysis too, right? Looking
Yes.
at my, continuously monitor my vital without me going to the doctor. It can kind of predict something, right?
Absolutely. Again, opportunities. So you're now getting it. So it is a kind of, and this is where youngsters can start doing something, right? Maybe the future is going to be more and more entrepreneurs. Because each idea, these ideas will get, and some ideas will fly, definitely. All right, I think we are on top of the hour. Indu, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ravi. Any other questions? Anybody has anything, additional questions on that?
Yeah, you can always connect. You can always call.
ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ എനിക്കറിയാം രവി ബിസി ആണെന്ന്. നമ്മൾ 1 hour ആണ് രവിയോട് ചോദിച്ചത്. ഞാൻ ഈ സെഷന്റെ തുടക്കത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ രാവിലെ 4:30 AM ആണ്. താങ്ക് യു രവി. എന്നിട്ട് കൂടെ ഈ മനോഫയുടെ ഒരു ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ഞങ്ങൾ ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ രവി ഗ്രേഷ്യസ്ലി അത് എഗ്രി ചെയ്യുകയും ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യുകയും ചെയ്തതിൽ താങ്ക് യു. ആൻഡ് hope to see you soon here in Jacksonville.
Thank you very much. Thanks everybody, and glad to talk to so many of my friends. Thank you very much.
രവി ബ്രേക്ക്ഫാസ്റ്റിൽ എന്താണ് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്?
പുറത്തു പോവാ. ഇവിടെ ആരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടാക്കുവാ? അബുദാബിയിലല്ലേ? കംപ്ലീറ്റ് മലപ്പുറം, കോഴിക്കോട്, ഏത് രാജ്യത്ത് വേണം, ഒറിജിനൽ ബംഗാളികൾ ഇല്ലാത്ത നല്ല ഒന്നാന്തരം കിട്ടും ഇവിടെ.
ബ്രേക്ക്ഫാസ്റ്റ് കഴിച്ച് സുഖമായിട്ടിരിക്കൂ. വന്നിട്ട് കാണാം. അപ്പോ ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Indu, for organizing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Indu. Bye.
Bye.